All right, so here is the Epic Collection shelf in its entirety. You get to see this is what 200 Epics look like. They do a whole line of Marvel. They've got a line of Star Wars comics, and they've got a line of Conan the Barbarian comics, which are obviously, those two are not in the Marvel continuity, but this is what they're doing. So the first actual Epic, I think, was an Iron Man one, and I don't remember which one it was. But they came out with these just randomly. You get these like random books. Maybe it was a Thor one. Who knows? I guess I could look it up and tell you, but I didn't because I didn't prepare. But the first one I got, actually, was an X-Men one down here. And this is what got me into them. It was Second Genesis here. The X-Men Second Genesis. And this is where... Whoops! Oh my gosh, I need a... one of those... what do you call those? Bookend. And this is where Chris Claremont started writing X-Men, and this is where it really changed from the old school stuff to something that everybody really got into. And I'd never read it before, so I always wanted to. So I picked up that. I picked up Thor Volume 1, so I could read it from the beginning. And I picked up Iron Man Volume 1, which I wanted to read from the beginning also. So I just grabbed those three, and I was like, cool, I get to read these old Marvel books I've never checked out before. And from there, I was like, wow, these are really great collections. I love the way the spines look together. I think they're fantastic. There's a couple errors here and there. We'll show you a couple of those. This one's the most obvious one. It's got like a almost purple Thor to a bluish Thor. And of course, these lines don't stay very well between the printers. They've got 3 or 4 different printers who they have work on these, so it's never exactly perfect. But you know, for the most part, I think it's a pretty design. I like the little artwork across the bottom of these. I like the way the title looks. I like the way the actual book title looks also, so it's pretty neat. And then, of course, Star Wars actually has the full logo going across, which almost looks a little better than the font that they chose for everything else. But I got really into this all the way around, and you can kind of see just kind of how well they've collected things. They've got so much of Spider-Man at this point, which is of course, my favorite book. Of course, the beginning is Steve Ditko's stuff, very good. Avengers has a huge run also. I've actually only read the end ones for this one, so I've not gone through the beginning of Avengers yet. I look forward to doing that. Gets into some smaller books with Black Panther and Black Widow. Black Panther's got a 3rd volume coming out soon. Captain America's got a huge amount collected. And this is our Conan. Conan started with the Dark Horse Conan, so Marvel just began reprinting these as soon as they got the rights to Conan. And so this is Kurt Busiek's work on the writing for the most part and various artists. And I haven't read those yet. I'm excited because I think these are very good from what I understand. And this is the actual original Marvel years. And they weren't going to make this an Epic collection originally. This was going to be a complete collection, which I'll actually show you what the complete collections are. So outside of this like era of Marvel, they actually make books called complete collections. And so they put them together just like this, and they complete different runs depending on what they are. Like this one's by Rick Remender, X-23 the complete collection, X-Force the complete collection. Just different things depending on what the volumes are. What If Classic, the complete collection, they've got 4 volumes of that right now. But they don't label them epics because they're not really part of this Marvel universe of this era or part of Conan or what. And so I don't know why Conan the Barbarian, I don't know why this was going to be a not epic when these were going to be epics. But Curtis from the Epic Collection Marvel podcast, and he's got a YouTube channel also now, the Epic Marvel podcast, I should say, made a letter writing campaign and said, please make this into an Epic collection just so we could have this cool spine along with it. And they decided to change it at the last minute. So yeah, I guess they listened to their fans, which is kind of cool. So we get some Daredevil, Defenders, Doctor Strange, Excalibur, Fantastic Four, all the way around. Here's all the Incredible Hulk volumes. I'm excited. I just got up to the point in my reading where I can get into the Peter David stuff, so I'm excited to read those. Iron Man's got a bunch. Which one has the most? It might be Avengers at this point. Looks like Avengers does have the most. At least their books are a little thicker. What's interesting is the original books had a different paper to them, and so even though they're not necessarily that much longer, they're thicker than the other ones, so they took up a little more shelf space than the newer ones. Little fun fact there. Silver Surfer, and of course our Star Wars. Star Wars, they divide up into different eras, basically. So you've got the Empire era, you've got the Clone Wars era, Rise of the Sith, which is prior to Episode 1, and it goes along. They have the newspaper strips, and then there's old Marvel years too. So it's not entirely era-based, but they've got a bunch of different lines, so you can kind of jump in at any point, which is a smart way to do things. Got a lot of the Thor collected at this point: Wolverine, X-Factor, X-Force, and X-Men. And so overall, I really think this is the coolest collection of comic books out there, and I love the way these all look on the shelf like this. I did move my shelf, so some of them are kind of tilted at the moment. I moved a bunch of the books just so I could, you know, get a couple in order like this. But they're going to fill in real quick because they come out with a new book almost every week. And I think from this point forward, I was told that they're going to have a new Epic collection every week from now until April. And so that's, we're going to fill these in real quick and probably fill up the entire bottom shelf there too, which then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But that's it. So the 200th is actually Venom, and this really annoyed me because it just basically reprints the Spider-Man stuff from like Epic Collection 16 through like 22 in that era. And it's got a graphic novel from the Avengers in it, but that's already in the Avengers Epic Collection. So there's really not much use to this book existing, except for they wanted, I guess, to put all the Venom appearances in one spot. This is the type of thing like I you know, is a terrible cash grab to me. So I'm not happy that this is the 200th book, but it is, and that was able to make my collection whole here. So this is all the epics again. I'll pull out one more time for a beautiful shot of all of them. Enjoy.